up, Ed, right?
No, I'm awfully calm. I'm good. There's no convincing.
Well, then we haven't done our job yet.
I understand that. I'm kind of surprised that, Bob could, be convinced by a professional clown to vote for Trump. That's just fine.
Hey, now, Joe Piscopo is now a talk show radio, so you're hitting close to the vest, my brother. Be careful.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, look, I'm sorry.
Ed,
did you read the article I sent you?
Hey, Ed, before you begin, just realize before you start bashing Trump that Terrell Owens also supports Trump.
I'm not bashing Trump. I'm not bashing Trump.
Remind me, Ed, what it was. Remind me, Ed. I
got the impression that you guys did not really watch the debate.
Well, of course we watched the debate. I watched the whole thing and was flabbergasted.
Okay, I thought Brandon said
but let me tell you this.
I listened to parts of it. I listened to parts of it.
I thought the most funny part was where, I forget which one of the clowns asked him, Mr. Trump, can you answer this question without a personal attack? And he says, no, little Marco over there. I thought, are you
Trump said,
kidding
F you.
Me? You talk about, he doesn't prep, but every response he has is a personal attack, no substance, some claim to polls to how popular he is, but there's never any substance in his responses,
right.
And he gets away with it. It's not the art of the deal.
That is the art of the deal, Ed. Ed, that is the art of the deal because you know what? Cruz and Rubio brought themselves down to Donald's level, and that was their loss.
Rubio did that, yes, but I didn't. I listened carefully, and I didn't see Cruz doing that. And you know what? When people have said, like on Facebook and the like, they've made that comparison, and I say, did you really see Cruz do that? And they say, well, you're right.
Yeah,
Cruz didn't do that.
Cruz did do it. He just did it in a more subtle way, but he brings that kind of smarminess to it that he shouldn't be. And you know what? My concern with Cruz now is from the Ben Carson thing in Iowa to the official looking document in Iowa, some stuff happening in South Carolina, finally firing a guy, and now taking these documents out of context. It's enough. I'll still vote for Cruz. He's still the guy that I believe, like you, Ed, he is the most constitutional conservative candidate. No ifs, ands, or buts. You'll get no argument for me. He's my number 2 choice. I'll campaign for him if he gets the nomination.
But for you, it's electability, right?
It's electability. There's no way he's going to get the crossover votes you need in the United States of America in 2016 to get elected. He can't, and he won't.
Well, okay, we disagree on that.
We can agree.
By the way, on the lawsuit thing, really the one lawsuit against Trump is a matter of character. It's a matter of did he cheat somebody. The other one is just a question of standing. Is there a legal standing? So you can't equate those.
Which one's more? I know. Well, which one's more important? One, could you
know?
One
going to be the one. I don't know.
There's going to be more, Ed. You know the Democrats are going to do the same thing.
Cruz.
This is going to have to go to the Supreme Court before there's. And do you want to deal with that during an election cycle?
I've got to ask Ed a question.
No. You know what? The way it stands now, it may not go to the Supreme Court. It may get bounced back as a tie, and go back to a lower court.
And do you want that to happen during an election cycle? We're 8 months out? Do we want that? Do you want that hanging over your head right now?
Before he gets disqualified, anyhow. I mean, there's a lot of ifs here.
Ed, let me ask you a question. Now, there's a lot of truth in what you're saying. I don't disagree 100% with what you're saying, but that's not the whole story, of course. I mean, Trump is a very accomplished guy, and you can't argue some of his success. You can argue some of his success against it, but you can't argue against all of his success. But here's my question for you. When Trump is able to say the things he does and oftentimes not put a lot of substance out there, the insult fest, that type of thing, and he leads in the polls, and it just doesn't seem to matter, like Gary's saying, and facts are facts. It doesn't seem to matter. And on the other side, Hillary Clinton, an outright criminal, liar, psychotic, a horrible failure in everything she's done in public office, she leads the polls. My question is this. What does that say about the American electorate?
I know. I'm curling up into a fetal position right now.
Here, Ed, let me read.
How do you fix that?
I got one more question for Brandon. Brandon, did you get my email with the American Thinker article link?
I did, but I have not read it yet.
Okay, thanks. All right. What you were going to say? I'm sorry.
So I'm going to read something, Ed. You might as well stay on the line because I think this may answer some of your questions. This is a letter that a person wrote to the RNC. And it starts out, from the time I was able to vote, I voted Republican. I'm now 80 years old, and I have a great deal of respect and influence with hundreds of senior ball players who also network with thousands of others around the country. I received your question. This is from the RNC. They got this letter. I received your questionnaire and request for money and strongly agree with every question, as I have since Obama was elected. Unfortunately, the one question that was missing is, what have the Republicans done for the American people? We gave you a majority in the House and Senate, yet you never listened to us. Now you want more money. You should be more concerned about our votes, not our money. You are the establishment, which means all you want is to save your jobs and line your pockets. Well, guess what? It's not going to happen. You shake in your boots when I tell you we're giving our support to Trump, and he hasn't asked for a dime. You might think we are fools because you feel Trump is on a self-destructive course. But you need to look beyond Washington and listen to the masses. Nobody has achieved what he has, especially in the liberal state of New York. You clearly don't understand why the Trump movement is so strong. So I'd like to share with you an analogy to help explain the Trump phenomenon. And here it is. You've been on vacation for 2 weeks. You come home and your basement is infested with raccoons. Hundreds of rabid, messy, mean raccoons have overtaken your basement. You want them gone immediately. You call the city and 4 different exterminators, but nobody could handle the job. There is one guy, however, who guarantees you he will get rid of them, so you hire him. You don't care if he smells. You don't care if the guy swears. You don't care how many times he's been married. You don't care if he was friends with liberals. You don't care if he has plumber's crack. You simply want those raccoons gone. You want your problem fixed. He's the guy. He's the best. Period. Here's why we want Trump. Yes, he's a bit of an ass. He's an egomaniac, but we don't care. The country is a mess because politicians have become too self-serving. The Republican Party is two-faced and gutless. Illegal aliens have been allowed to invade our nation. We want it all fixed. We don't care that Trump is crude. We don't care that he insults people. We don't care that he has been friendly with Hillary. We don't care that he's changed his positions. We don't care that he's been married 3 times, and we don't care that he fights with Megyn Kelly and Rosie O'Donnell. We don't care that he doesn't know the name of some Muslim terrorist. This country is weak, bankrupt. Our enemies are making fun of us. We are being invaded by illegal aliens and bringing tens of thousands of Muslim refugees to America while leaving Christians behind to be persecuted. We're becoming a nation of victims where every Tom, Ricardo, and Hasid is part of a special group with special rights, to the point where we don't even recognize our country we were born into and raised in. We just want it fixed, and Trump is the only guy who seems to understand what the people want. It goes on for another couple of paragraphs. But that's what's happening in the country. We're so sick and tired of the disgraceful Democratic and Republican behavior that we're willing to vote for a guy who's rude, brash, bold, and oftentimes insulting.
And that's the phenomenon of Trump. There's that, which is great, but then there's like that. It depends on how you weight these various aspects of Trump. That's the phenomenon. How do you weight each aspect?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the call, Ed. And William, later. Give us a call next week. I'm sorry we couldn't get you in time.
That's cool. Bye.
All right. We'll see you guys. Take care, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.